Where is it?
Hey guys, so it is time to talk about Alien Covenant. I recently saw this in theaters, of course. I was very excited for it, although it had been a minute since I watched Prometheus, so forgive me if a few of the details between the two are a little bit lost. I'm mostly going to be talking about it kind of as its own thing, entity. Of course, it's related to all the other Alien films, being that it's a second part of the prequel series. So basically, Alien, Ridley Scott, they're doing like a Star Wars thing. It's kind of happening, you know, they got the three or whatever Alien films, the trilogy. I mean, the other sequels are okay, but like the three trilogy, that's my favorites of the Alien series, right? And then they're doing, Ridley Scott has said that he's doing 3 prequel series, so it's basically like Star Wars, okay? As you guys know, Alien's one of my favorite films. It kind of has been replaced in my top 3 favorite films. As you guys know, I love The Ring, The Thing, and then it used to be like Alien versus Mama for the 3rd place, but it has been officially taken over by Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original, because I always forget how amazing that movie is. It's one of my favorites. I've seen it so many times. One of the best original slasher films in my opinion. That's not what you're here for though. We're talking about Alien. I'm just saying it's kind of taking a step down. Sorry, Alien. And of course, if we're battling between The Thing and Alien for sci-fi favorite, it's gonna be The Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing, that is. So as I was in the theater, I've been doing this thing where I like take notes while I watch movies, which kind of takes the fun away from it in a sense, but it gives me a better idea for reviews because I do have a terrible memory when it comes to movies for whatever reason. So the premise of this one is that there is a group of colonists that are going to a specific like different planet or whatever, which, sorry, my cat wants to make noise right now. I do like that with every Alien film that there's always a different group of people. It's not always scientists or it's not always military. It's always something different. My favorite, by the way, in case you are new here or I haven't said it enough, is Alien 3, The Prisoners. That's my favorite Alien. Anyway, so this one is a group of colonists that are going to colonize a planet, obviously. Really strange that James Franco has like a really small part in this, yet is probably one of the most top-billed actors in this film. It was very weird. I didn't know it was James Franco until like there's a video of him. It was very strange. I don't get it. Basically, the main guy, the main leader of the ship dies, and so a new guy takes over. And then they get this radio signal of something weird, some weird sounds coming from a different planet that's like a detour from where they're going. And so the guy decides that, hey, we're gonna go there and see, because they look it up on the thing, you know, and they deem that that planet is safe for humans, the air content, everything is safe. And so he's like, if it's so much shorter to get there, we don't have to go into cryo sleep or, you know, be asleep for 7 years. We can just go there and try to colonize there. So that's what they do. And they go there, and first of all, it's beautiful. I heard that part of the film was filmed in Australia, so it was gorgeous. So of course there are things on this planet that are abnormal. You know, aliens, because they're on another planet. There is a life form already there. And that's kind of where the movie like takes off. It takes place mostly on that planet, and there's some really good twists in this film, like unexpected, and I loved them. So let's get into some of that. Okay, so the rest of this might be a little spoilery if you haven't seen it yet. First of all, I just want to talk about how bad this did in the box office, because like, why? I mean, I get that the Prometheus did horrible. Like, a lot of people didn't like Prometheus, but still, it did really bad. Like, Pirates did better than it. No offense to Pirates, but I just want a horror movie to do well in the box office again. And that's not part of The Conjuring, because, no offense to Conjuring too, but why is that the only... Okay, whatever. Okay, so the first twist that we see is they discover, after a couple people have died because the aliens have attacked. I love how they attack, by the way. It's very strange. There's like this black mist that gets in their ears or whatever. Excuse me. And then they, you know, bust out of their bodies. I loved that because, you know, classic. So they are kind of in chaotic mode. They eventually find out that this is the planet where the Prometheus ship disappeared to, which I thought was really cool. However, the reaction of them were not surprised. They were like, oh, this is where it landed. That's cool. Like, out of all planets in the universe and you happen to go to the one where that ship disappeared to and you're not shocked at all, you're not like, oh my god, we found it. Basically the robot guy David from Prometheus is there. And then he plays a very interesting role in this film. And of course I gotta talk about the little romance between him and the other robot, his clone. That was strange because I wasn't expecting it. My friend and I were like, are they gonna kiss? Because like there was some tension there, and I was like, no, of course not. They're robots. Like they're not gonna kiss as alien. I don't know, but then they do. They kiss. I was very shocked, and I honestly thought maybe it was kind of a Jennifer's Body type of thing where it's jarring at first, so you don't quite understand. Like, well, why would they put that in this film? Like, I'm not against it by any means. But it's kind of like in Jennifer's Body when they make out for no reason and you're like, what the hell? I think it's because it's showing the manipulation of the other person on the other one that they're like preying on. What? Okay. Does that make sense? Like, I think that was David manipulating Walter. I think that's his name. So obviously, based on that, this is a spoiler, by the way. In case you haven't gotten that yet, we're talking about spoilers. Sorry. I don't think I did an official warning. But obviously, David plays the antagonist in this movie, which I loved him as the antagonist. I was actually, like, okay with it. I wasn't really attached to any of the other characters except for maybe the main girl because she was very reminiscent of the original, you know, badass female role. So because David was the antagonist, he basically took the alien to this planet and killed off, there was like this scene where he killed off, it's like a flashback though, the original life form that was already there, and they were just doing their own thing, and then they, you know, were eaten alive by these aliens basically. So he could recolonize the alien population. So that was an interesting twist as well. Honestly, this was a mix between CG and practical effects, and the CG had okay moments and then it had bad moments in my opinion. I just love practical effects so much, and I know it's probably more expensive and so much harder to do, especially when we have the convenience of technology, but I just miss, you know, movies doing practical effects so much. So anyway, so I thought the best part of the film was kind of the beginning leading up to the middle and then kind of the climax, and then at the climax is when it gets a little bit bad for me because it honestly was so predictable by the end. I knew exactly what was going to happen. It was, you know, the ending became suddenly very happy, and I was like, no, there's probably another movie coming. They're not going to end on a happy note, clearly. So they're back on the ship. There's like a couple of them. I mean, it kind of like tricks you to think that, oh, well, you thought they were going to get out safe, but nope, there's something on the ship because it goes to a happy moment, another climax moment where they have an alien on the ship and they're doing everything they can to get it out. They get it out, another happy moment. And so you're like, maybe it could end happy. I knew better. I was like, no, something's weird with this robot here. I don't trust him. So clearly, in the end, he, you know, David, I guess, took over Walter, I can't remember his name, I'm sorry, but he was the robot then and tricked the other people, and now he's on the ship and he's still obviously the antagonist. So that was that. And the ending line was the cheesiest thing. I mean, really? They tucked everyone in, right? And the robot doesn't have to go to cryosleep, obviously, so he's gonna tuck the girl into her little booth, and then she realizes something's weird, and as it's closing, she realizes, or after it closes, she's like, oh my god, this is him. She starts screaming. She can't do anything at this point, and so he says, don't let the bed bugs bite. Like, did we need that line? Did we really? So that was a little cheesy for me. And so the ending and the ending line, like all of that was kind of like a for me. But I liked the planet stuff and seeing the, you know, him recolonizing the aliens. All of that was pretty cool. Overall, this movie wasn't bad. I really enjoyed it. Not as much from a horror perspective though. Like it was definitely, it just felt more action-y to me, which wasn't necessarily bad because I kind of get that vibes from the other films too. They're not as horror, they're very sci-fi, of course. So that's kind of why in my top 3 like horror films, Texas Chainsaw took over, but that's just my opinion. Let me know if you've seen this film and your thoughts on it down below. Overall, I thought it was meh. Maybe that's an explanation of why it did bad in the box office, but people didn't know that really going in, so I don't know. Anyway, leave your thoughts down below. Leave some more movie requests that you want me to do down below, and maybe some like top 10 lists or whatever you can come up with down below. And I hope you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.